All right. Let's see. All right, load quest. I think it's Elfwood, right? Yeah. Welcome everyone. It's Favorite Dragomar. It's time for some more Aveyond 2 Expert difficulty. Yes, Expert difficulty, I believe. It doesn't label it as such, but it should. Last time, we battled a whole bunch of bees and brought a bunch of snow in. We don't know where Io went. And the Snow Queen is beginning to cause, or is causing, massive amounts of havoc. Wonder if the bees are still available. Yes, the bees are still available. The bees are available for money. Okay. Let's see. That's the beehive to the south. Let's investigate for any further items. There's a treasure chest there. Okay. Got some karma. No one named Iatiki in the Vale. Mother says the snow isn't natural. Any skill points? No. It's not like Elder Scrolls where I can get skill points from books on the shelf randomly. So that's what happens in there. If you read a book in Elder Scrolls on a shelf, you get points. And 10 bread. You know where this Ia is? I haven't seen her this morning. Who is Ia? Your daughter, you don't remember? I don't have a daughter named Ia. Are you feeling well? How can this be? Why does no one remember Ia? Why is her room empty? I know that I'm not crazy. Ia exists. We need to search her room. She must have left something behind. The name sounds familiar. The loose floorboard. Searches under the floorboard, finds a ribbon. I knew it. Ia exists. What does it mean? First the snow, and then this something terrible has happened. But the elders can help me. Yes. We must find the Ia. I also must reassemble teammates. And of course, as usual, mess with bees. Mess with the bees. Hey guys, the bees. The bees. The bees. The bees. The bees. Bees while you have them. Limited time event. Get your bees here. F6. Okay, the elders. Where would the elders be? Gotta find them. I think they're back here, right? Yup. The only being that can open the way between the Vale and the land of man is the Elder Oak. Elder Lear? Yes, young Ian Oko. I have a friend, Ia, who has disappeared. Ia, I'm sorry, son. I did not know this lass. No one does. She's my best friend, but something terrible has happened. I've known her my entire life, and then the snow came. It must mean something. What is it you need from me, child? We are all worried about the snow. I know nothing about this, Ia. Elder Lear, what would you do if you had a question of grave importance, a question that no elf could answer? I would ask the Elder Oak. But only singers can speak to the oak. I'm not a singer, Elder Lear. The Elder Oak will awaken for an elf with great need. Go to the Elder Oak. If your need is great enough, young Ian, the tree will wake. Only singers can wake the Elder Oak. That or an elf with great need. Can imagine this being an Old Mary Dominion quest. Possibly. They're the elders of the old high elves. Old, or wood elves. Probably wood elves. This is probably the old wood elves' land. Come on. Bees, please. Come on. Fight the bees. Fight the bees, fight the bees. Fight the bees. Loot them out. Yours. Alright. We're regenning some of our cash already. There we go. That should help keep us in good state. Don't worry, this game gets way harder. That's why I'm actually doing it. I'm not doing that randomly. It's because if this really is expert difficulty, we're about to run into some very hideously difficult stuff. Everyone's gone. And there's snow everywhere. Elder Oak, I need your help. The Elder Oak is silent. Please, Tree Spirit, I need your guidance. There is snow in the vale, and my friend Ia Tiki is missing. Bird chirps in the distance. No one remembers her, and I have her ribbon. I found her in a deserted room. No one can help me. Please, talk to me, please. The oak tree stirs. Your friend is in grave danger. The Snow Queen has her now. If Ia does not escape, the Queen will take her magic and use it for her own. Are we talking about the same elf? Ia doesn't have any magic. She failed her magic test yesterday. In time, Ia will find her magic. Until then, she is vulnerable. You must help her escape. If you fail, your friend will perish. How am I supposed to do this? Where is the Snow Queen? Go to the land of man, climb a mountain covered in ice. Your friend awaits you there. The land of man, few elves have survived in that place to tell the tale. I'm doomed to fail before I've begun. You have a power of your own, young Ian. Find it and you may survive. That's it. That's all advice you have for me. When you're in great need, the oracle will come to your aid. Oracle? Who is this oracle? Careful, the way thy footsteps fall. Mystery lies beyond it, mystery lies behind. Tread carefully in the path you choose. Wait, come back. I'm not ready for this. The elder oak does not answer. Where am I? This must be the land of man. I'd better be careful. I have a feeling this place isn't as innocent as the Vale. Oh, it most definitely isn't. A canoe. Yes. As good as any place to put a canoe. And in here is... we can't do that yet. There's only one way to get in there. You know what that way is? Nah, you need a specific certificate. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I needed that one level.
Are these things you can fight?
Yes, but there's a problem with that. I don't know if I have a weapon capable of actually doing that yet. Because what you see now is not... Okay, we have that.
We don't have marsh. Do we have marsh tea?
Leather armor. And a leather helmet. We're going to need to equip such items.
Can we sell our own old stuff? Or are we gonna
It's not going to be enough for enough money. Okay, well, we made a save.
What about the statue?
I don't have any money.
Oh. You should donate.
I have to fight things. Let's try a singular crow. Can we kill a singular crow?
What happened to your girlfriend? Oh, she's the one we're looking for.
This may not end well. Yep, you can definitely tell this is expert.
I'm glad you didn't do 2 crows.
Yep. Let's hope it gives me a bounty.
you kill it? You don't know.
We will see.
Yes. It's bad.
Possibly not. Okay.
Don't touch anyone.
This is the cost of the land of man.
Why does it act like you don't have anything? You don't have a weapon.
It would do 0 damage if I didn't have a weapon.
Jesus.
I don't have the money. Fun. This is why
Sell your stick or something, then you have a couple more gold points.
I did that already. It's
Jesus.
1 gold.
Oh.
What you have to understand is
You can't break it.
there's a reason why I was leveling before.
I see that now.
Because I assumed it would be insane. I was not wrong.
You have to go like that. Oh God. Oh God. What are you doing?
Trying to get a weapon. Because if I don't have a weapon...
So you have to go back and go to sleep. Wait. There's a chest.
The sleep place costs 30 gold.
No, but what about back to your Mitchell house?
There's no way back.
There's no way back. Oh my God.
But I can get some health regen with that. But I don't think I want to fight that thing.
No.
Because I think that thing, without another weapon, is going to rip me to shreds.
Yeah. It will. I can see that happening.
Yes. A frog. It's a frog.
Oh no, it's not. It's a bird and 2 frogs.
It's not as bad as the crow. The crow is a great evil. Flame scroll. I think these are the enemies I'm actually intended to fight, not the crow. It's the crow. Doing 1 damage constantly to a crow is not enticing me to want to fight it.
No.
These enemies eventually upgrade into something far worse, but we don't need to get to that right now. First, I need to check how much the weapons cost. Because I will need another weapon. Without it, we were not going to make any progress. We're going to get 1 leather claw. It's going to reduce our money to 0, but
Equip it?
it will give us vastly improved damage. We're going to use some of this bread.
Oh yeah, in this game we don't want to equip that snow girl with too much stuff. We figured out, right?
No, there's another story with that.
We take it off her before a certain time.
No, that's another game.
Oh, that's another game? I thought she turns on us.
That's another game. What? I heard something. Must be a frog. Anyway. Oh no, not the bird, please. Yeah. Yeah, take out the bird. This isn't my first Aveyond for whatever voice that is. It's not. It's not my first time playing this. It's just my first time doing this on expert. It's been some time since I've played this game on expert difficulty. Actually, never. This is my first playthrough on expert, but I've done it on normal. I've done this on normal a number of times. This is Aveyond 2, so it has expert by default. It's Aveyond 1 that you need. That you need the second version, or the third version actually. Sorry.
Have you ever played expert on this one?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I get a lot of viewers. My viewers though don't usually even they don't usually appreciate Aveyond itself. They are much more vested in Raid and Elder Scrolls, but they are like they like that stuff. The thing that's funny about Raid is it has the turn-based stuff that Aveyond has, but it's got some perks and it's got some downfalls. It doesn't have like a really big open world. It has a lot of content, but it's not really open world style. It's turn-based. It has a stupid number of characters. Like, unbelievable number of characters. Like, if you like characters, there's like no limit to the characters you can play practically. There's like over 600 in the game. It's maniacal. This game, yeah, well, this game has other perks. This game has a very good story campaign. That's the one thing that Aveyond has that a lot of games don't have a very good story mode to them. There is a couple exceptions, even in the 2D realm, but all of these games are very old games that do it. Like A Link to the Past has a very good one. I still have a copy of it on VC, but it's got a good story mode. It's also extremely difficult. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to be fighting these frogs and birds for a while. The problem in the beginning, and why I had to grind to at least level 5, is because... Why do I have to grind to at least level 5? I have to grind to at least level 5 because without that, these enemies will absolutely obliterate me. Like, I won't even be able to get the claw that I need to try to start buying other equipment. And the crows are so devastating that if you if you don't prepare for the crows, you'll hit them for I just did it earlier. I just barely got away. You hit them for like 1 damage, and the crow does like 4 more each time. It's pretty crippling. Um,
I'm just amazed that somebody still appreciate Aveyond for its beauty and gameplay.
well, I'm kind of I'm kind of a generalist gamer, but I do still have a soft spot for the 2D games. Like a lot of people have been spoiled with the luxury of getting 3D games all the time, with like hyper realistic graphics. Not to say there isn't good games among them. In fact, um, there is a game among them that's actually very good. Like in terms of like both like story and difficulty, and I mean difficulty, but it's not entirely obvious because it's so hyper polished looking you wouldn't think it was that type of game, but it is. But there is one further downside to it than its hyper difficulty. It's also pricey. Like it's not cheap. Like Elden Ring has a lot to it, and it's a difficult game, and it has a huge story, but yes, it costs a lot, and also if you're not into like mature games, it's on the mature end. Like I'm okay with mature games, but not everyone is. So that's why I always mention that. Like it's mature, it's difficult, and it's hyper realistic. Like 4K res. Like it's crazy. The res is how you know it's a new game. It's not the difficult. The difficulty doesn't let you know anything about that because it actually plays like an old school arcade. I don't know why it plays like that and like every boss is like a final boss, but it does. It really does. I do plan on taking revenge on it because I actually haven't beaten it. The Godskin Noble and Radon, yes. They
I don't know the boss's hardware in that game, but I have seen videos on YouTube on how hard it really is to beat Elden Ring.
yeah, like every boss in there is like wicked. And the strangest thing is that the two strongest bosses in the game, other than the Blade of Destined Death, they're actually one's technically a lady and the other one is just straight up a lady. They are actually the two strongest bosses in the game.
The red hair lady, I forgot her name.
Melania, Blade
Melania.
of Mikola. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that boss. Oh.
Hard.
Like, I've only seen two streamers ever beat her first try. In even then, they're like, one's the world record holder, and the other is. Another is like a retro game junkie guy named KB, Crimson KB.
Yeah, never heard of him, but because I don't usually tend to these games, but
Yeah, well, Crimson KB is like he. How do I explain this? He gravitates towards the absolute hardest games he can possibly find. kind of like my brother Chris did back when we used to do co-op before he moved away. He gravitates towards the hardest possible games. So because he does that on a regular basis, that made it possible for him to be able to beat Melania first try. But unless you are the type that quite seriously runs for the absolute hardest games you can possibly play, you're not beating Melania first try. Sorry. She will destroy you. Well, it is, but it also is like the speed, the fact that she is immune to stagger, practically immune except for bleed. She's hidden in a very difficult place, so it's difficult to even reach her. So there's a lot of factors that make it so that the only people that do her like easily are the ones who have already like they're already made a very vivid name for themselves in Elden Ring already. And I only know two people who've done it. And they're both ridiculously powerful players. Okay, I'm going to go heal at the hotel, and then I'm going to go try to see if I can make any further... If I can beat a crow or two easier. Because... And then I'm going to call it there, because getting to the boss, the actual boss, in here is really hard. There... Oh yeah. I've never used goodies in my playthroughs. I've only done it like, and the thing is, I've done this game on normal, but I've never actually done it on expert. So that's what makes this different. Well, it makes it different and more likely that someone's going to be interested rather than just me doing it on normal. Oh yes, I have a whole channel. I have like a lot of videos on different games. Like, I think I'm on my 520th Elder Scrolls video, for instance. My biggest achievements in Elder Scrolls are no damage Molag Ball, no damage Molag Ball, Alliance War Lieutenant, where I beat a bunch of actual players. Getting in the top 50 players in Cyrodiil and defeating an emperor a number of times and deposing one, which doesn't sound like a big deal until you realize how competitive the Alliance War really is. It's very competitive. Like, the players are proper sweaty. Like, they're... Yeah, now I can finally do a hotel trip. Okay, good. Because the Land of Man is rough. I'm trying to remember, how do I get into that village? Let's see if we can fight a chicken. Okay, yeah, the chicken slams. Okay. Thankfully, we got rid of the chicken. The chicken is worse than the crow, I can tell you that. I'm trying to find... Yeah, well, there's other amazing games and stuff. Like, I was watching Jai Plays doing Shadow of War Mordor. That was pretty interesting. It's hard to tell how hard the game is because Jai plays. He's this Indian streamer, and he like is like. How do I explain this? Really hardcore. Like when he does his streams, he does like almost doesn't like give up period on a game until he wins. And when I say like period, like he'll do it in like one session or something. Like he has like legendary endurance. And he has like this like how do I explain it? This like kind of fruity accent that you might mistake it for like someone who's just like a casual, but the second when you see how powerful he is, you're like, "Oh, no. He's very powerful. Very, very powerful." I'm just explaining. He's probably the most skilled gamer I've ever known, and that's not an understatement. Other than like I'm trying to remember that other guy's name. Other than like Distortion 2. Distortion 2 is the only one I know. And he's like the world record holder for Elden Ring, which I have a great deal of respect for anyone who can get a world record on that game because you have to be very powerful to get a world record on Elden Ring. Because you make any mistake in Elden Ring, it's just you died. It's like you died. It's like, oh great. But yeah, Jai Plays is probably easily top 5 gamer I've ever known of all time. So I do suggest you check him out. Jay Plays. Yeah, check him out. He does a lot of game stuff. His streams are a bit long though. Just a heads up. Like you only want to watch a little bit of it cuz his streams are really long. Like I'm not joking. Like he has legendary endurance. All right. Let's see if I can find the way into that village. I don't know her personally. I mean, I've played all of the games on normal, but I'm now playing them on expert. The reason I know this game is because this was one of my brother's favorite games, and that's how I knew of the game. But yeah. 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 Albert died. Sister Nora never got over his death. Must have been around 40 years ago. Refuses to let anyone come near. Doesn't want the young riffraff around me. Anyway, I'm going to go this way because I think. Well, the Grandma Nora plays an important role later, but. I mean, I haven't either. It's just I have a brutally powerful memory. That's the thing. That's the truth. That's how I remember. Mm, no, I believe it. 28. Because I was born when Super Metroid first came out. It's from 1994. I've beaten Super Metroid. I beat Mother Brain, but that boss, Mother Brain is not an easy boss. Like it must have taken me like at least like at least like 10 tries. Like the boss is it well not just the move set, like it does unbelievable damage, has a very large health bar. It's built on a standard that almost nobody uses anymore. Like Aveyond kind of does it on expert only, but almost no one else does. Other than like Elden Ring. Like Elden Ring is like a paragon of its kind. It's like most new games are easier than the old ones, and then like Elden Ring like breaks that in half and says, "You know what? We can make a really hard new game." And it's like, "Whoa."
The only game that I can ask you, you probably know is Mega Man 5. Mega Man
I haven't played Mega Man, but I know of the game.
is the only game that, as a Vietnamese, they are still popular in Vietnam. It's Mega Man. Metroid isn't that popular because we only got introduced to it like late 2000. So
Nintendo is not what it was. Like that's the other problem. Nintendo is not what it was. Like when
all the
when Nintendo was like a long time ago in when Super Metroid was released, like the 1990s, like the late 1990s, Nintendo was like really special because it was like because that's what like the early 2000s, 1990s, like that's how I got into video games in the first place.
because of that era, because of the Nintendo. It's that
Well, like I got into Twilight Princess and that got me into the rest of gaming. That was the game that did it. Yes, yes. It doesn't look that it hasn't aged that well as a 3D game, but in its day,
it was some of the best game ever made, right?
it was well like it was like Elden Ring at the time. Like it was ridiculous like in terms of like ahead of its time almost. Like it was such a big deal and then it aged and now some of the slight pixelation of it aged it a little bit more because now like there's like almost all the games have like 4K standard res,
Yep.
so like yeah it's also what's made 2D games hard to make people interested, you know. It,
Yeah.
there is a couple though that have that still if you know what you're talking about, you'll know they're like absolutely incredible. Like like a Link to the Past. Link to the Past is incredible. Like even more so than Metroid. It's probably got the best version of Ganon ever made and the best overworld.
I wish I had the time to play all the games mostly. But now I'm getting into university mode now. I don't have that many that don't have much time because I have time to study and all that. But it brings back memories to see people playing games.
Well, that's the tree.
I came into Discord right now because I saw you were playing Aveyond.
Yeah, yeah. I do Avion. It's just I don't do it that often anymore. Why? See, the problem is I'm trying to get that guy to trigger the thing because I'm trying to get into this village to try to make progress. I'm gonna go put that in another episode because I still don't remember exactly what? How exactly did I get the guy to... Wait a minute. I think there's a portal over here or something. I'm trying to remember how to beat this game because I've beat it before, but it's not that easy to remember everything because it literally has been a long time since I've played this game. I mean, it annoys me to admit that, but it's true. Like, I've played a lot more of Aveyond 1 than I did of Aveyond 2, so... I don't want to fight all these chickens. These chickens are going to hurt.
You mentioned video. Are you making a video right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's just hard to finish it off. No, it's I like my viewers having input because what it does is it allows like me to put more stuff into like the description or the title so they'll watch it. Because oftentimes with these kind of old games, they find it dry. So if I have some other like stuff other than the game, just the game, they might be more interested to see it. Because some other games, it's like I've just like if just because I posted the game, they'll go to see it. You know, Aveyond's not that type of game, unfortunately. Like if I just put the name Raid Shadow Legends, it doesn't matter what it is in the game. They're going to eventually, if I have the audience like in my chat or whatever, they'll go see it. Well, Raid is popular for a number of reasons. It's got a lot of characters, including some very alluring looking characters. And it's got
I've seen they hire some of the top influencer to make videos.
yeah, but I also what I do different than a lot of the other people that do it is I try to do everything like that air bad guy or something. That one guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's the top free to play players in the world. And he can make an account in a relatively short time for the game. He can make an account look like a pay to win account almost, minus the empowered legendaries, because he's that good at free to play Raid. No, Raid is like a little bit of a different. It's a little bit of a different. It's a different. It would be kind of like, I don't know. It's almost like speedrunning Aveyond in a way, like quite seriously, because it actually shares a lot of the mechanics of Aveyond, the turn-based thing, the selecting skills, stuff like that. Like it has a lot of the overlap, but it has some other mechanics that are very hard to master. All right, I'm gonna make a separate episode and try to see if I can get the thing because I'm days in a week. Okay, I'm just gonna do that now, just real quick, because it takes a while for me to figure all this stuff out.